This is a video for how to go about creating an animated exploded view of your selfie stick in Fusion 360. We've gone ahead and assembled the selfie stick in a design, workspace. We want to actually change the workspace and go down to animation. And you're going to notice a brand new set of tools loads for you. And we can do several different things when we transform. We can say, everything just comes out one level or we explode to multiple levels. But we have a lot going on with this selfie stick, and we're actually just going to do a manual explode. So we're going to go down to manual explode. And we want to click on this object right here, and we want to change the direction of this handle of the selfie stick coming off, and we can actually change its direction by going on an explosion scale. And as this object comes off, we can kind of drag out and get an idea of the scaling that we want. Now we can toggle on and off these trail lines of the trail that it's following. I'm going to go ahead and just leave those on for now, and I'm going to hit my check mark here, and I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go back up to transform, manual explode. Click on this part. We're going to change the direction, and we're going to go for our explosion scale again. And we want this to kind of come off at a distance that gives us enough room to work with here. And I'm going to kind of explode this off about this distance here. We want to make sure that we're not going too far away, but we're also giving enough space for us to explode every one of these parts. I'm going to hit our check mark and say okay. We're going to come back up to manual explode. We're going to go ahead and explode this item out. But before we do that, we would have to take this part off first. This just can't come off of this part. So this is the item I'm going to do a manual explode on. So I'm going to click on this side part over here, and we're going to go ahead and make sure we have this direction, and I'm going to go ahead and drag our explosion scale out about this distance. Since we're coming off at a different axis, we can go ahead and keep that a little bit closer. Let's go back up to transform, manual explode. We're going to click on our object. We're going to go ahead and drag off at this distance, and I'm going to say, explosion scale. Let's go ahead and bring that all the way off and say okay. Back up to transform, manual explode. We're going to explode this object off this direction here. We're going to take this off about here. Say okay. Same thing with this screw here. We're going to go to manual explode. We're going to click on that object. We're going to go off this direction, and we're going to go to about here. Remember, it's up to you if you choose the distances of how far something is exploded off. But we want to make sure we give ourselves enough room to see everything. That's the biggest issue you're going to have. If we just went with one level, sometimes things can be too bunched together when you have this much going on. We're going to go to manual explode, click on this object, off this direction. We're going to find our scale, bring it about halfway between. We can also, come over here to this side and decide what about halfway between is. That looks fine to me. We're going to come back up to our isometric view, and we need to take this handle off back here. And we're going to go to transform, manual explode this object. We're going to drag off this direction, and we're going to, come off just about to here. We can tell that that fits inside of those holes. We can tell that, those cylinders go inside those holes and fit. We're going to go ahead and say okay. So now we have for ourselves an exploded view created. Now we can come down here to the bottom and we can say, let's go all the way back to the beginning and let's watch this explode. And Fusion 360 is going to kind of zoom in with each exploded part as it comes off. It's a pretty cool feature. We can go ahead and go back and play again, watch it come apart. You can notice you kind of have a timeline down here at the bottom, but the most important part is that we're just learning how to create an exploded view. Notice that even as I went to the side there, it remembered the camera angle that I was at and took that. But in order for us to make an exploded view drawing, we have to learn how to make an exploded view through animation. Now after you've done this, if you're satisfied with the video, you can go to publish video and you can say, I want to make this a super high pixelation. I can change the size of stuff. I can go into custom and change all that down here. But if you wanted to do that, you could just say okay and export a video of this outside of the Fusion 360 program that would show exactly how to put something together and take it apart. So this has been a video on how to create an animation for an exploded view of your selfie stick in Fusion 360.